thank you. Thank you very much.
Sold out. Feet there. How is a bloke? Oh,
Gone for a piss already?
I noticed, by the way, Dave, and I'm not even looking at you to say this, that bloke had got a notepad of some kind, as if he were maybe a,
do you have a notepad?
Student journalist.
Are you a student journalist?
Sold out, so I'm not a student journalist.
We sold out years ago.
What? We've sold out spiritually?
We've sold out all your shows.
Oh, I see. So that means you can write what you want?
Yeah, because...
I don't understand.
I mean...
because I'm not writing a review to say people go see this or don't go see this.
All right, what are you...
He's writing to say you can't see this, whether you like it. It's just what you want to read, isn't it?
He's making a...
Oh, sorry, mate. What's your name, by the way?
Tim.
OK, Tim.
Shall we make Tim the person who has to write on the board so he can't write a review?
Well, no. The trouble is he might write a review on the board. Then we'd have to leave it up there to say things like, you know, who do they think they are? Yeah. They can come to the Edinburgh Festival and not write a show.
Too lazy to write a fucking show.
Yeah, that's it. Now, you see, you've sworn there, and there's a lady in the front rows, I'm guessing, what, 45? And...
You dreadful flirt, you.
I am, eh? OK, a little bit older, but you get a lovely breakfast. And this is slightly ageist, obviously, but whenever I see a person who's over, shall we say, 40... 75.
You're not 75, are you?
Yeah. Now, this is on a quiz show, everyone would have applauded.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't look a day over 74. No, you don't look 75 at all.
No, you're already doing that, leaning forward and going, you don't look 75. I say! You don't... No, you look great, because a lot of people 75, they won't wear a slack like that. They wear, like, floral dresses, and they're a bit old-fashioned. Like your daughters there.
The point you were making is that I've sworn...
Well, sometimes I worry about... Old people seem to be a bit... Not when I say old. Oh, come on, 75's fucking old.
It is old, yeah.
Oh, I swore again now.
You're just swearing right in front of her now.
I'll tell you what, I'll buy some jam. That'll make it up for you. I presume you've got some you've made, would you? No. Sorry, what's your name? Eleanor.
Eleanor. Hello, Eleanor.
Are you worried about us swearing, Eleanor, in any way?
No, not now, I shouldn't be.
OK. It's just, I always feel that, you know, with the senior citizen, they're a bit touchy. I don't know if they had children at all, because they're so touchy about any mention of sex or anything. But I bet when they get on their own...
Yes.
I bet when they're at a tea dance, they're saying, oh, fuck off, fuck off. And some young people come and they go, oh, no. Right. So I'm really glad you've come today. And if you want us to speak up, we're happy to do so. I worry you're holding that handbag as if I'm not putting it down by them two English blokes. It'd be safe there. If you want to put it on the floor, that'll be all right. We'll remind you before you go. You don't want to leave it because it's probably got your address in it.
I'm going for a float this afternoon at the Edinburgh Floatarium. Has anyone ever been to the Edinburgh Floatarium? No. I imagine no one had.
Is it some sort of angling museum?
No, it's a flotation tank. Has anyone been in a flotation tank ever? No.
They are looking at you, this woman in particular, in a... Think I've heard of a tank. Other bit, I don't know. Obviously,
the bloke in the army's heard of a tank, yeah. Well, because I'm a bit worried about it, really, because I've got a 5 o'clock appointment, and I'm a bit worried about it, because basically you're in there for an hour. Really.
I think you better explain what it is, because I didn't know until the other day.
Oh, right. What it is, I believe, it's just a big tank with water in it that they put Epsom salts in or something, and you float in that for about an hour. And what bothers me is I don't know if they change the water, right? And basically, if I'm in an enclosed space for an hour, I'm going to have a wank.
Yeah.
I just am, really.
Yeah. That's why this show is 40 minutes.
I'll tell you what was a problem in yesterday's show was that we kept on having to go over there and write stuff on the board, and it was got in the way a bit. So we thought we'd get someone up from the audience today to be our writer of our subjects and cross her off of them. So does anyone want to do that?
That bloke, that kid, how old are you?
Kid?
15.
Oh, he's a kid.
That is a kid.
Yeah.
Are you from... It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you from Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the spelling's not that important.
You know that...
What's your name, mate?
Sorry.
Matthew. You can back out after that line if you like. Do you want to come up and do it? Yeah. You're not going to be...
All right, big hand for Matthew.
Let's find out a bit about... I don't want Matthew sitting there as an anonymous figure. So you're from... Whereabouts do you live in...
Marchmont.
Marchmont?
Yeah.
What kind of... Is that a bit rough?
No.
No. We live in Belgrave Place.
Yeah.
You can see, that's actually... do you know Belgrave Place?
No?
No.
No, OK. Well, Belgrave Place apparently is quite posh. Is anyone else here from Edinburgh? 2 people. That's the Edinburgh Festival for you,
that
isn't
bloke
it?
over there.
Yeah? Is it posh, Belgrave?
You don't get about much, you Edinburgh people, do you?
It's just over the Dean Bridge.
Oh, that one, eh? That...
Oh, my God, the phrase Dean Bridge is
fucking
to animals.
Dean Bridge. Fucking Dean Bridge, you fucking yeah. So we got the cab over today from Belgrave. Obviously, we're going to get a sort of sedan chair from Belgrave Place. But we got the cab, and the cab driver, I could tell Dave couldn't tell a fucking word he was saying.
No,
it was
just...
I said, well, French, spray, and Dave was going...
No, I was a bit like Matthew, was going,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Does anyone have any questions at all? Like, why has that bloke got a very warm yellow coat on?
No, hang on,
He's very young.
you're very young as well. Sorry? Oh, you're Matthew's friend?
Are you from Mars?
Being Matthew's friend got an R.
That's because they're 15. If they'd have been 40 and said that, they would have got a... Oh, yeah. Hey, I bet you fucking are. But it's early days for all that, isn't it?
What's your name?
James.
James, right. And,
So he didn't understand you,
No, I
James.
didn't understand. Not at all. But that is a very nice anorak you've got, James. What made you go for the lemon? Is it lemon? Was the only one they had? It's a sadder and sadder story, isn't it?
That was at the major Marchmont department store.
So does anyone have any questions at all? No, OK.
No, you really...
Yeah.
Why are you doing this show for £2?
That's such a good question.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I thought the for the £2 bit was unnecessary. Why are we doing it for £2? Well, you know, we thought, because we're making the show up as we go along, it quite possibly could be shit. In fact, I wanted to call it...
Yeah. Frank wanted to call the show This Might Be Shit, right? I thought that might put people off.
See, I didn't. I thought we'd pack out with Scottish people, because I think Scottish people would rather come here and see us be shit than funny.
Yeah.
Because I saw that two fucking England fans shit!
Yeah, but then the problem is the show does cost £2, and so therefore there's no Scottish people in here at all. Oh.
No.
I want trouble, really. I'm looking for trouble.
You've gone too far now, I think. Even
Actually, it is £2.
Matthew balked then.
Well,
I say he balked.
We did think about calling the show...
Is that the £2?
That's £2. Money for an hour. I'm not going to tell you why. This is one subject we can't discuss, but we did think about calling it Acker Bilk's Knacker Milk as well for a short time.
Which is clever.
It's clever, isn't it?
But we thought that people probably, even if the show was shit, they'd think, well, it's only £2. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So it was our way of getting out of it, really. But, you know, and also it's nice, isn't it, £2? People can come in from Marchmont.
Yeah, and still have enough change for the anorak.
Yeah. If this had been like £10 like some of the shows, you wouldn't have come, would you?
Yeah,
You would? Shit.
Oh, he paid?
You paid?
Oh, fucking money bags over there.
Why did you pay? Did you owe him some money? It's your birthday.
Oh.
Congratulations. Oh. Happy birthday, Matthew. So you're just 15 today?
No, on Thursday.
It's not your birthday.
Get yourself some sweets.
Any other questions?
You get paid to wear those watches.
No.
We don't, actually.
Well, we were sent these watches. It's a set of 3, actually. They're red, white and blue altogether. Not the English colours, in case you get panicky. But the... it made like a sort of French flag, a tricolour. Sorry, I got a bit of a trickle. Misunderstanding. But they're very good watches, the G-Shock.
Yeah.
And if you see, I don't know if you can see in this light, but if you press that, look, it lights up. James will be off. Look, James will be off.
Let's have a disco in here. Put some rave music on. Who got the blue one?
What sort of watch have you got, James?
A nice one.
A nice one.
So, did you buy it from a different shop than you got the anorak from?
Is it a Rolex?
No, it's a tag.
It's a tag. Oh, wait, what? Are you really wealthy then?
Is
No
he
wonder you
rich?
is he? Yeah. He's a snob.
Yeah.
God.
Look, he fucking paid for you to come here.
He lives in an 11-bedroom house and he drives a Lotus. His dad
He drives a Lotus. Oh, his dad does. All right.
Wow, 11-bedroom house.
God, I feel there is a certain amount of resentment and bitterness from the Marchmont kid.
But he was kind enough to bring you. He threw £2 in your general director. Have you got anything planned for after? A little, maybe, lunch?
What car does your dad drive, Matthew?
an Aston Martin.
An Aston Martin?
Fucking hell!
Can I have that money back?
I thought you meant Marchmont Edinburgh, not fucking Marchmont Monte Carlo. You too. Who'd think it to look at you, eh?
Blimey.
That's spectacular.
What do you write on the board for all that?
Rich wankers. Yeah.
But your head is a strange bigness, I think, because sometimes I look at you and you look like Beavis or Butthead.
Do I have to bring up your fat neck?
It's up there.
Oh,
You're not allowed to.
Not
David's
allowed to bring
double
up fat
chin.
neck.
It's up
Yeah,
there.
you sneaked in and wrote that up one night.
So that would never be talked about.
Giveaway is that it says my fat neck instead of David's.
My fat neck, an essay I wrote at school once.
That'd be good, by Gerald Durrell. My fat neck and other animals.
Gerald Durrell?
Gerald Durrell wrote My Family and
It's
Other
Gerald
Animals.
Durrell, isn't it? Gerald
said?
Durrell.
Says.
It's his French cousin.
I fucking hate him sometimes. Mr. fucking smog Cambridge coming out.
Oh.
What?
No, nothing. No. I'll leave it. You want to be nasty at me, you big cunt?
Gerald Durrell. I'm like what my dad now used to say Somerset Matham. That's Somerset Maugham, in case you don't know what he was talking about. He also used to say antiquity. He'd say, the trouble is with kids nowadays, they're not interested in antiquity. And I'd say, no, they aren't. And I realised it was etiquette. So it's a fucking family trait.
Yeah.
James Herriot, I like him as well.
Any other questions at all?
What was it like doing This Is Your Life, Frank?
Can I just say something about that before? I mean,
Is someone hammering in the dressing room?
I think so.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
What?
When they said they were having a comedy workshop, I didn't think they'd be lathes and things.
I don't know what they're doing.
So I
I don't know, but you were
were
putting something up in the dressing room because you just sat there just before we came on, just farted for fucking ages. I think they might bring some sort of shield.
That obviously isn't true.
No, that is true. I have
That's
to sit there.
obviously just for comic effect.
I have
You know
to
when
sit there-
comics say this is true, it is.
It is absolutely true.
It is.
Every fucking day, he sits in there just farting before we come on.
Really,
And
I can't tell you
it's
how
true.
much that
So
is.
I wrote a book, right, and there is a character in it who initially was based a bit on Frank, and we were just talking about this in the dressing room. The way that Frank farts is in a very particular way.
Oh, really? I can't tell you how much I don't want to talk about it. I'm not a man who's easily embarrassed.
Do you not want me to talk about it?
Well, we don't want to hear about this sort of thing, do we? Yeah. Some people are off to have lunch after.
The thing is, he farts, right, as if his anus is cracking with the effort, right? Honestly, it's a strange cracking noise, and frankly, I don't want to be there when it finally gives way. That's the thing. I promise I won't talk about it again.
OK.
All right. One of the things about being on This Is Your Life is Frank used to be married, but he's no longer married, and there wasn't really. You always have to have someone.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Well, I have to
The fact
explain
that I can't pronounce any English writers. I have a flatulence problem and I couldn't make a marriage work.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Just because.
She couldn't come up with the spell of the mispronunciation. That's what it said on her, whatever it is they have, petition.
So, the thing was that normally...
Petition? She went around the neighbours and everything.
Is that how she got divorced?
Yeah. She said that...
Could you sign this? I can't live with him anymore.
It said, Frank's been fucking other women and saved the whale.
Was that one of the other women? Anyway, I had to sit, basically, in the chair that normally the spouse sits in, right? On This Is Your Life. This is the point I'm making. And so everyone in the whole country thought we were gay for about a month, didn't they?
Yeah, you shouldn't have worn those open-toed sandals.
But never mind about me. What was it like for you doing This Is Your Life? That was the question.
Was it?
That was the question, yeah. What was it like for you doing This Is Your Life?
It was great. Somebody tipped me off the night before.
Yeah, fucking wanker. I was really pissed off about it, actually.
And I didn't believe it, because I thought, who the fuck is going to, This Is Your Life, me? And I went in, and, I should have sort of kept it. And I was saying to people, I had this fucking folk, some cunt, said I was on This Is... And they were going, and I really, genuinely didn't suspect. So most people, when they see Michael Aspel, they think, oh, God, This Is Your Life. My first thought was, fucking hell, that bloke last night was telling the truth. Right? And what was really pathetic, and I'm prepared to admit this, at the end of the gig, I was doing a gig at the Palladium, and I finished the gig, and I said, ba-da-ba-da, and they went, cheer. And I said, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Big cheer, big cheer. Oh, great. And then the cheer got bigger and bigger. I thought, fucking yes! Yes! And I turned around and Michael Aspel's there with a book. So anyway, was it a documentary? And this woman said to me, she said, so are you from Edinburgh? And I said, no.
Was she chatting you up, do you think?
What? We chatted.
All right.
And no, she was nice, and she said, are you... I said, I'm up for the festival, and she said, are you performing? And I said, yes. And she said, what do you do? And I thought, look, how fucking dark is it in here? I said, she looking straight at me. I mean, I'm not, it doesn't bother me, that sort of thing.
Can I just stop you just for a second, Frank? I went to see Frank at Battersea Power Station, which he did a fucking brilliant gig.
Battersea Power
Station. I went a bit yokelish.
Oh, we do Battersea Power Station.
I was revealing my West Country roots for a minute there. And he was performing, and a close friend of ours mentioned something about Frank that I'd never really noticed before, which, although not actually homosexual, when Frank performs, he is, in the words of this woman, often Campers Christmas. Right? And I think you just did it there. You were Campers Christmas.
Right. Anyway.
And again.
Well, you can be camp without being a homosexual.
I know, I made that point. I made that point for you.
Not that it's anything wrong with being a homosexual. Have you got any homosexuals in today? There's one.
What, you, mate? Have we got binoculars? There's one.
No, he just put his arm up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
In the air. It's not a Robert Mapplethorpe exhibition.
Got to tell the Robert Mapplethorpe.
Oh, are you really?
Huh?
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Good on you.
What's it
good
like?
On you. Things Things have changed. When you came out years ago, it used to be very traumatic and very difficult. And now people go, good on you, mate.
Well, it is. It's good, because at one time, people wouldn't have dared to that at a show.
No.
You know, if this was a show in Birmingham now, the tar would be being warmed up and the feathers would be coming out the sack. So it's good that in Edinburgh Festival.
Don't mention the sack.
Do what you like.
So
Why not?
I was a vague scrotal sack reference. That was not good at all.
That was
a very waste of
terrible.
time.
This
Sorry.
bloke, he's
being
obviously
honest.
upfront about
I
it.
know.
No, I'm like, there's a way. I quite envy. What's your name? John.
John, would you like to stand up and say, I'm John and I'm gay?
No, I'll tell you what I really like is that with heterosexuals. Have you ever been heterosexual?
No, never.
No, some waver. They do, don't they, John? This is not derogatory.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah. No, I knew a woman who was engaged for 7 years and then became a lesbian suddenly. Yeah, to me.
Talk about your ex-wife.
No.
That's no way to talk about your ex-wife.
But what I've always been quite envious of is that heterosexuals, right, you go to a club and you see some woman that you like, right, and then you talk to them for like 7 hours. The times I've been sitting talking to a woman, in Edinburgh in particular, at 5 in the morning, thinking, look, soon I won't be able to shag you. I'll be too fucking tired, right? And you're listening to all this rubbish, thinking, well, maybe at the end of the night they'll be. But homosexuals, I always get the impression, and I don't want to stereotype you here, John, but from the
Are you saying homosexuals are deeply promiscuous who just shag each other at the drop of a hat?
Well, I wouldn't drop my hat in there. But no, I get the feeling. The way a mate described it to me, it's sort of, you know, you go up to someone, a bloke in a bar and say, you know, can I buy you a drink? And he says, what, before you fuck me up the arse or after?
Too far.
No, but that saves a lot of bother.
No, it does save a lot of bother, I agree with that.
So
Actually, one thing I would like to know, I'm sorry you didn't realise this was going to happen, did you? But it's you say you always knew you were gay. I mean, did you know you were gay when you were very young? It's just that some gay people say I knew I was gay when I was like 4. Or so I didn't know what fucking sex was when I was 4, let alone what being gay or...
I didn't know sex was, but I knew I wasn't fucking gay. It's a joke, John. I wasn't being homophobic, I was holding up a mirror to homophobia.
You actually said hobophobic there. Hobophobic, which means fear of tramps.
Yeah.
On my way there. It'd be terrible to be hobophobic in Edinburgh as well. You know. You can't tell the tramps from the street performers, I think, a lot of the time, can you?
We passed some tramps today that smelled of vinegar.
Yeah, we did. We did. That's very odd. Perhaps they think there might be alcohol in it somewhere.
No, but they really, I don't mean they smelt a bit nasty or acidic, you know, pissy, drinky. They actually very clearly smelt of malt vinegar.
Yeah.
Thank you, homosexuality.
Crossed off. Well done.
Good.
Tramps that smell of vinegar? Or... yeah, why not? Actually, we had
malt or wine, do you think?
I think it was definitely malt.
Yeah, okay.
Why? It wasn't balsamic. I'll tell you, we had a little row before we went on, actually. We almost didn't make it. We had a little row.
You know how it is, John?
Little tiff.
I want to see how could I scratch these eyes out.
John's leaving in a minute. I'm sure he's leaving.
No more, John. This far and no further. Can you just picture me, the test going, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Yeah. I was in the toilet. Sorry, John. And...
no more, John.
I didn't mean it.
Leave it.
I was in the toilet and I was having a shit. And I'm sorry to have to tell you this early on in our relationship. It's a bit like when you get into a relationship, you know, you never want to mention to the other person that you go to the toilet at all. Early on, like you don't even know what a toilet is. You know, I'm on a dialysis machine. I don't. But I was in there. I was having a shit, and suddenly all this water just landed on me from above, right? And I thought it was someone from outside. I just went, oh, fuck off, right?
You should always point it downwards when you sit down.
And it was him. What had you done? You just got some water in your hand and thrown it over.
Did you not do this at school?
Yeah, that's what he was doing. I was going, oh, fuck off, right? Saying, look, I did it at school. Like, that made it all right.
Yeah, you get if you got a cup or anything in the toilet, great. But otherwise, you cup your hands and just throw it over the top of the cubicle.
Yes. Yes, well, I thought it might be piss was the problem, and I was deeply upset.
He did. He took it a bit Because he said, oh, look, I was just... He got really mad. And the great thing is he said, I've hurt myself now.
I did.
How?
Well, like,
how did you
because I don't really want to go into this, but I was literally...
It's time to stop.
I was literally mid-shit, right? And as I got deeply shocked when the water came down and my arse cheeks just shut, bang! And, you know, luckily, I'd eaten quite a lot of bran this morning, but if that had been a hard shit, I could have hurt myself.
I'm absolutely appalled.
Could you write all that down in some way? Oh, you're going to. That's good. Toilet.
Don't put toilet humour or we're fucked for the rest of the day.
Toilet attack. Mid-shit.
That's very good.
That sounds like something...
Toilet attack mid-shit.
Isn't that something... Oh, that sounds like some sort of nautical language to me.
Here's toilet attack mid-shit. Carry on, number one.
Most comedians often say things like, I don't like to see myself on TV or whatever, I get a bit embarrassed or whatever. And the first
I've
time...
never said that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm about to explain. The first time I ever became mates with Frank, we were up here, actually, and he was on some Best of Edinburgh show. There was a bit of Frank. And I was used to comedians, right, being a bit embarrassed to watch themselves on telly. And he was sitting there going... And I tell you, right, not just that he was enjoying it, but like, he'd never heard the jokes before. You could hear his mind thinking, oh, I like this bit coming up.
No, but it was the best thing on, by a mile. I did, I thought it was great. And I'll tell you something else, the worst thing you can do is if you ever do a television show, some of you will have done, right? Probably. If you do, like, a comedy show, never watch it with your mates. Because that's really annoying. When we used to record fantasy football, occasionally it would occur on a Thursday, I'd watch it on a Friday at someone's house. And you know when you watch the telly, you say things like, yeah, but what did you hear about Jeff? And you're going, oh, hold it. This is you just fucking listen to this joke. Oh, let's switch it off. Because if you're not going to listen... It's really terrible. If it's on video, I have done this. This is really... If we're watching it recorded, like we've been out somewhere, and we'll say, oh, we watch fantasy football when we get back. And I'll go, oh, well, I don't really want to... Get me popcorn in. And we sit there, and if they miss a bit, I'll say, oh, actually, you missed the beginning of that
you
joke.
Don't do that.
And I'll rewind it so they get the whole joke. That's how big a wanker I am.
Oh, dear.
Glad he has got a question.
No, you asked the question.
On the same clothing front, isn't her G-Shocks the new Comedy Vogue or something?
Isn't her what? Oh,
G-Shocks.
these G-Shocks. Oh, we have talked about the
Do you
G-Shocks.
swap clothes?
Do we swap clothes?
Not deliberately.
No, just pants.
Now, when I used to live with Dave, I used to see him some days and say, that's my fucking shirt, isn't it?
And I say, no.
And Dave wasn't deliberately wearing it. He doesn't know what his clothes look like.
No.
Well, obviously not. And he did it, really. It was the one thing, as much as I love Dave, that was the worst thing about living with him was him wearing my socks and things. It was.
What? Is that so? When I was a kid... I'm telling you this. When I was a kid, right, for some reason, my mum didn't put all our pants and socks in our own... I had two brothers, right, in our own bedrooms, right? We just had a big pant and sock drawer in their room, right? And my dad's pants...
It was and your mum's pants.
Yeah, and well, I don't remember my mum's pants being there, but
I'll
basically...
bet you fucking don't.
I blanked it out. And anyway, there was just a big pile of pants and socks and whatever, and we just used to take them. So my sense of communality about pants and socks has remained with me. And that's why I used to wear yours, even though yours were disgusting.
Only because you'd worn them. So shall we have that as Dave's sense of communality about pants and socks? If we can spell communality, I'll eat your
pants.
T-shirt.
So we can't talk about the watches, because...
Sock shocker.
Sock shocker.
Yeah, you should be working for the Daily
tabloid.
Record. Yeah. Anyway, I had a fan letter.
Did you?
Yeah. About that.
Yeah, well done.
This was in 1961. It's written with a big feather.
Would you stop doing that with it?
What did I say?
Like you're an 18th century person.
If Will Hay was going to read a letter in a comedy show, he'd go, now then! Now, boys! Anyway, now this, you want me to read this? Because this is from overseas.
Have you been preparing material?
No. But I brought this with me to show it to you. I showed it to Steve, and he liked it. And I
Okay.
thought I'd show this to Dave, and then I forgot. And then when I was getting ready today, I thought, I thought.
All right.
So this is from Ghana.
It's what, a person called Ghana, or...?
No, yeah, it's about the fucking Rockford files. And it said, I heard from Brian Eno recently, and he suggested, woo! Shadows down,
Yeah.
And anyway, this is a letter, right? And let me don't.
All right, I won't look at it. I won't
Shoulder.
look. What, it's an exam,
Just
or
a minute.
what?
Oh, fucking hell. It says, Dear Sir, not bad for a fan letter opening. Dear Sir, I wrote you, but I want to make sure if you got it. It's not from you, is it? Please, sir.
Is it from John Alderton?
Oh, yeah. This is true now. I'm not doing this because they're foreign people. This is not a funny foreigner thing. It is a bit.
It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, let's be honest.
But wait for it. Please, sir, the first letter concerning a big friendship between me and you. Full stop. As I have said, I saw you in your newspaper. Did you know I had a newspaper?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Daily Record.
Yeah. I saw you in your newspaper. You are a very handsome man. I love the way they've missed the I out of that. You are a very handsome man. Does why my heart desire with about this friendship?
Ah.
Please, if it can be, send me your own photograph picture. Hoping hear the result from you.
Look, I'm very sorry I chose to communicate
just a
this
minute.
to you in this way.
Just
but
a minute.
I didn't know how to put it.
No, but hold it. But it says, signed, Thomas. So it's a bloke from Ghana, and it's got a picture of Jesus on the corner. Look, see that?
Are you going to write back to him?
Well, this is the second letter. The other one was a bit more graphic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did it suggest?
Well, it didn't. I mean, not very graphic. It mentioned kissing.
Did it?
Yeah, from Ghana.
Ah. When were you in a newspaper in Ghana?
I don't know, but
That's another letter from him arriving.
the weird thing... the sort of X-Files moment in this, I got this 2 letters from this bloke in Ghana, and I was talking to my assistant about it. And she had... she brought me a paper. I said, well, if you're coming round, bring us a paper, right? Not my paper, obviously, because Thomas has got that.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, we were just talking about... and this is, I swear, I opened a TV page and it said, TNT tonight, the African Queen.
Hang on. There's a question over here.
Going to ask.
Frank, was it at a bonus be the French won the World Cup then?
Sorry.
Just a minute. I didn't quite. It sounded like for a French.
No, hang on. That was Irish gibberish, wasn't it? Not Scottish. Eh?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, yeah. Was it a
right.
bonus for Frank?
Added bonus.
An added donut?
Look, will you let us speak?
You've had an added donut.
That's what's
haven't
happened
you,
in
mate?
Northern Ireland. Isn't it? That's what's gone wrong in Northern Ireland. People haven't been allowed to speak.
I'm
That's
sorry.
how they got themselves-
Okay.
That's how the trouble started, in my opinion.
Yeah, political comment, ladies and gentlemen.
About that. So, sorry, I didn't quite catch
Was
that.
it an added bonus the French won the World Cup?
I think this is a What's your name?
Ruth.
Ruth. Ruth is referring to the fact that...
Frank,
you may not know
yes.
this,
Well,
but
basically, I think I should say this because I think you should be embarrassed about it. But Frank, okay, you can.
No, I was embarrassed. Then you told everyone on telly
We did some publicity photos with the World Cup, the real World Cup. And I announced on the last programme, Fantasy World Cup, that Frank came over to me at one point, got his knob out and wiped it over the top of the World Cup. And then, presumably you're talking about seeing the French players kissing it. I don't know why it's an added bonus that they're French, especially.
I don't know.
Unless they were going to French kiss it.
Yeah, well, they do kiss it more passionately than your average footballer. I couldn't Yeah, well, we were there as well, live. And it was quite exciting because the whole squad, people who hadn't played, came out and kissed it. Yeah, which was an added.
And we were miles up because it's a very big stadium. We were miles up, but even from where we were, you could see little spots on top of the World Cup.
Yeah, I think I understand this. It's not really a joke, but someone was telling me that Brian Moore. It
might be better if it was a joke, I think.
No, it isn't. Brian Moore on his commentary, because Brian Moore said, and I'm sure he wasn't aware of this. He said, "And I shouldn't think the World Cup's ever tasted sweeter than it does tonight."
You have to.
No, I said.
All right. We're going to have to put Frank's knob on the World Cup up there and cross it off.
I've already put my knob on the World Cup.
I know, but we're going to have to put it up there because it's come up twice, as it were.
Yeah.
We don't want it to come up again.
No.
I don't think.
You say that.
Any other questions at all?
Frank's knob on the World Cup.
How old are you two?
How old are we?
How old are you two? Well, Bono's what, 40?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know about The Edge.
The Edge? The Edge, I can tell you something about The Edge, funnily enough. Well, all right. I met The Edge once, right, and I was with my ex-girlfriend, oh, yes, it's a sad story, but let's not go into that.
But you did.
I did, yeah. And we met him, and
So did I.
The things you find out in this show.
Well, I was just waiting to pick the right moment to tell you.
Yeah, we met him, and the person introducing us said, "This is The Edge," right? And she knows who you two are. She always knows who they were, but she had a kind of mental blackout, right? And she went, "Sorry, what was your name?" Right? And he went really red because for years no one must have said that to him, right? So he went, "Well, The Edge," and she went, "Sorry, what was your name again?" And later she said to me that she thought that it said Reg. Right? And from the look of him, couldn't believe that his name was Reg, right? And then he went really red and then went, "Well, my real name is David Evans," which it is, but people call me The Edge, right? And she thought, "Oh, fuck, The Edge from U2, I get it now." But it serves him right, really, for having such a fucking studenty, stupid name, doesn't it? Do people say to him, "Pass the salt, The Edge"? That doesn't really answer your question, mate, does it? What was the question?
I don't know. Wouldn't it be good if he called himself The Hedge? It was how old are we? I'm 41.
Oh. Who thought he was older?
No, I'm 41.
I'm 34. And how old are you, mate?
20.
Oh,
I am literally old enough to be your father.
Yeah.
Think about that. Just imagine that if I was your dad. Just come here a bit. Just sit on there. No, come on, I won't. Come on.
Hang on.
Just sit on there.
I think he could be your son, actually.
Can you imagine, though, if this was my son?
Where are you from, mate?
Gloucester.
You're from Gloucester. Were you in Gloucester in the early 60s, by any chance? Did you meet anyone?
Yeah, I was staying with my cousins, Fred and Rose. No, you could, though. It's amazing. That's amazing that you could be my... It's good that you applauded that, by the way. Well done. I once, when I did the chat show on the telly, I once pretended that we got Rose West on the show. Like, we could ever have fucking Rose West on. And I said to the... You know when the people come on and they play a bit of a signature tune? I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 Rose West!" And the band went... And the audience went... I just couldn't fucking believe they're applauding. Hurrah! There you go, Rose.
Did that go? That didn't go out on the telly, though, did it?
No, the BBC banned that.
Terrible.
I thought it was a good joke, personally.
So, is there anything else any of you want to talk about? John Lydon. OK.
We should explain, shouldn't we, first?
Yeah. On our show, I don't know if anyone saw it, it was a show about the World Cup. And later on in the show, we had John Lydon on, or Johnny Rotten, and as he was once known. And He got very nasty with us, didn't he?
He was very friendly backstage, and then as soon as we went on, he sort of started getting all...
You offered them a fight, didn't
Yeah, he did offer me out, yeah. And I said, all right then. I offered him back, because I'm hard.
If we'd have been in a pub
Yeah.
and he'd have offered you a fight...
I would have run away.
Yeah. He's actually quite a big bloke, so you wouldn't want to cross him.
No.
What about Bridget Nielsen?
Also quite a big bloke.
Quite a big I did actually touch Bridget Nielsen's breasts on the television. And I have never touched a pair of silicone breasts in my life. Has anyone here got silicone breasts that I could touch now? And I couldn't work out whether they were...
Somebody laughing a bit too much at that there.
I couldn't quite work out what point she was making. Because basically she was being a bit mental.
Sort of cone-like, wasn't it?
She was being a bit mental. So I said, Bridget, has the silicone gone to your head, right? And then she stood up and she said something about salt and water, yeah, which meant presumably that's what women have when they have breast implants now. They have salt and water. And then she came over and sort of stood here and said, basically offered her breasts to me. And I put my hands on them. And I wasn't aware of whether they didn't feel like proper breasts or whether they did.
Why do you think they have salt and water, then?
To flavour them.
You could, yeah. That woman's got salt and sauce. No, but you could just have water, couldn't you? I don't know what the salt's in it for. Make them float.
I have no idea.
They don't freeze? Fucking hell, that's
What happens if they freeze? Do they get harder and bigger?
Of course they're going to get harder, eh? You'd freeze your tits off.
5 best things to do at the festival.
Do you mean shows or just anything?
No, anything. You guys have been for years and years. So
Oh, we're not that old.
That's true. That's
We have
true.
been for years
What
and
is
years,
a really good thing to do?
Fart, according to that person. That's a really good thing to do.
There's the old game of trying to walk home on Saturday night without getting your head punched,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
you're from Paisley.
It
Yesterday.
doesn't bother you if you're from Paisley. I think it's fucking terrifying. I'm so glad when Saturday's over. And I think I've only got another week to go.
Yeah.
To walk, especially because, people say things like, it's a fucking football, you fucking cunt, you fucking English fucking football cunt, you fucking cunt, you. Fuck you. I said, yes, never mind that. I want a Big Mac. Shit. No need for it.
No.
There's the playing card shop. Have you been there? You should go
Playing
there.
card
It's a
shop?
very weird bloke who works in there. All they sell is playing cards. Do you know it? Yeah. All different types of playing. It's right down the other end of the Royal Mile, around the bottom bit. Past the fudge shop. Which you might know is a gay club. I used to have a job packing in there. And,
Oh, dear.
and there's a bloke who works in there, and he's what he really hates... You should go in and try this afternoon. What he really hates is all the sets of cards are displayed on, big cards, and they're all stuck on there, so you can see what the pattern is. But some people try to have a look in the box, you see. They think, I'll just see what these cards are like. And he comes out, and he's got glasses and a bit of a beard. Excuse me, but I think you'll find all the cards displayed on these larger. And he really is like that.
Is that where Bruce
Go
Forsyth...
in there.
Is that where Bruce Forsyth goes for those big cards?
It might be, yeah. Because you don't get anything for a pair. Thanks.
Well done. Thank you for doing that.
That's what Barbara Windsor said to me.
Oh, dear. So we've thought of 2 things.
Yeah.
Just going to the camera school and
we're
going
at the
to
stage now. How long have you been up here? Oh, you live here now?
Oh, right, you moved out of Paisley now. Oh, right, OK. You what? You had to? What, were you being blackmailed?
So you've gone up in the world then, I suppose, moving here. What's your name, sorry? Elaine. How long have you been in Edinburgh,
I
Elaine?
want to know why you had to move out of Paisley. Why did you have... Your job? Right, what was your job? Killing people? You're a doctor? You're a doctor. You must have had lots of work in Paisley.
When you said it's your job killing people, she said, I'm a doctor.
It is, basically.
We haven't met before, have we, Elaine?
Oh, my God.
Are you the one that told me about ankylosing spondylitis? Oh, fucking hell.
Tell me
I
about
remember
what?
now. I was asking what it was. You know, people are very hunchbacked.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was. I was talking about that condition.
It's
and
monkeys.
Elaine pointed out to me that it's called ankylosing spondylitis.
Is that right?
I remembered that. How about that?
So that was the end of your conversation? You just came up to her, never met her before, and said, what's this? What is it? And she said, oh, ankylosing spondylitis.
I was just leaving the fudge shop. No, she came in the fudge shop and I was saying...
Oh, dear. And you said, it's just ankylosing spondylitis, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Eh? Yeah, write it down.
Write it down. Very good heckle, mate.
Brilliant. Best heckle of the whole run.
That was a very... Come on.
What?
Ankylosing spondylitis.
Have a go.
No chance.
Well, try.
Fucking no. No.
Ian,
Right, go on.
No help from the doctor.
what? You what?
Well, could write it like
Tell
a
me to
doctor,
write it
couldn't I?
down.
You write it down, yeah.
Well, because you've heard it wrong.
That's like a doctor.
Got that, Joe.
No, I was going to say Michael's written it in Egyptian.
No, that's how the doctor writes it in the prescription.
OK, we'll settle for that.
People will come and see these in years to come. It'll be like hieroglyphics.
Do you think people will come
No,
and
I
see it?
don't think they will.
That'd
I
be
think
very
they will.
tragic, wouldn't it?
We're nearly up for time, aren't we?
We're not, are we?
Yeah, it's 2:10.
Didn't we start late? What, how long
keep
we got
going,
left,
Rob.
Steve?
There's an hour on my ticket.
So there's an hour on your ticket.
No, it doesn't. It's
It
40
doesn't.
minutes.
You'll show us.
I
Paisley
don't care.
person.
It's
You're
a
supposed to
40
be a doctor and you're really hard, right? What's your bedside manner like? Can you fucking not have cancer?
I don't care. It's a 40-minute show. I don't care what it says. Look in the fucking Fringe programme, madam.
Yeah, also, I'm dying for a piss. So,
We'll go and have a piss if you like. I'll
Now?
keep them talking.
will you?
Yeah.
I suspect you'll say things about me
I
while
won't
I'm
say
gone.
anything derogatory.
All right.
Make
can
it
you
quick, though.
Don't leave my mic on. Either, all right?
Jewish, you know. Makes everything a lot quicker in there. You will go now, Dave. Dave has got a real problem with pissing in a public toilet. If there's other people about, he can't piss. No, it's true, though. He has real problems with that. You'll just stand there for ages looking embarrassed. I'm all right. I'm one of these blokes who's fucking, you know, like this. Sometimes, this won't happen in women's toilets. You ever stand next to a bloke in a toilet who's pissing so hard you can feel the spray? You ever had that? There's absolute, absolute splashing, and then there's like vapour.
What did you say about me?
I wasn't saying anything horrible about you.
I'll tell you something. There's a bit of a problem with doing this, I think, and I'm
There is
walking,
in those
like
trousers.
this for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Which is that normally one might splash a little bit, right? But when you come back from going for fish, you're not normally being looked at by 200 people. So how is it? Is it all right?
It looks all right.
All right, I'm all right. I'm all right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're all looking now, aren't you? You're like, I can see a speck.
It's a very quick piss, wasn't it?
Well, you know, you told me not to be long. That was what I was worried about. I thought I wanted to take a bit longer over this piss to make sure there's no piss on my trousers. But I thought I'd better get back.
You know, as I've got older, I've found that shaking is less and less efficient.
Really? I found that Shaking Stevens thinks that as well.
He's much less efficient than he used to be, Shaking Stevens. But
efficient? You mean you can't?
I don't think you sort of have a real good shake. You do that, and you do that pulling thing that blokes do as well. You pull and you shake.
You do the hokey cokey.
Yeah. And put the freshness back. And I will admit now, not in a public trough, but if I go for a piss at home now, this is the thing I've noticed in later years. I've never told anyone else this. I've started... You know how women, they have a bit of a dab with toilet paper? I've actually been reduced to that. Just like that. So I'm going...
No, I've done that. I know what you mean.
I don't actually dab, actually. I just hold it there and let it spread. And when it stops spreading, you know you're all right. It's like, it reminds me when I used to use the fountain pen at school, on the blotting thing, when it stops.
Do you ever use a whole roll? Do you like do just a little bit of...
No. I have once used an Arctic roll. So anyway, we ended with a song.
We have been finishing with a song. And,
no, we should probably... We bought a book, didn't we?
Yeah, well, the thing is that we did
got it
close
with
to
us.
you. We did close to you... Where's the song book?
I mean, if you really don't want us to, we won't. But we have... How much was that song book?
It was 14 fucking quid.
No, we don't want to do that. Otherwise, we'll be fucking killed, as well as him. There it is. It's on the... it's next to your wallet on the piano.
No, my wallet's on it, weighing the piano down.
Look at that. Look at that. Anyone got a micrometer? Look at that for a wallet. That could have fallen on somebody.
Yeah. Piano's not going to work now.
Wow. Hey? And yet, the poor old age pensioners, what do they get a week? Nothing. Here, come here. Tenner.
How much has he given you?
Oh, come on.
Scottish
give it
money. It doesn't count anyway. There you go.
There you go.
Go and buy yourself a house.
That'll all be squandered on Hall's mentholyptus lozenges.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I really enjoyed that.
I bet you fucking did.
Oh, dear.
Can
That
someone
would do
shout
me.
out 54? 54. I'm a believer. Great. I can play that.
You can play it.
I can play I'm a believer, yeah.
That's the Monkeys thing.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I went to... I know something about I'm a Believer.
OK, off you go.
In Smethwick, I went to Geskeen and Nettlefold Social Club with our Keith. Right?
You went to where?
Geskeen and Nettlefold
right.
Social Club.
OK.
They work in... They make nuts and bolts.
Right. OK.
And I went with our Keith. You know our Keith? Yeah. My brother, right? And there was a bloke on, and what he did, he had like a sound box thing there, and he had like a shirt and tie on, and he sang numbers on his own. That was the cabaret for the night. And I always remember he came on and he said, he did a few numbers, and he was not a bad singer, not great. He had a slight frill on the shirt, which I respected him for. And then he said, he did like a little intro, and he said, and who could forget the magic of Mr. Buddy Holly? I thought love was only true in fairy tales. And I thought, well, you could, mate, obviously. So that's the fucking Monkeys.
OK.
Should we let Liz go before we do the song?
Well, I wouldn't mind Liz standing over here and turning the pages for me.
Would you do that, Liz?
It gives me a strange erotic thrill.
Just
so
imagine
I'd like to do that.
Imagine it's assembly. Because you've got your own assembly now up here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
stand there.
Got your own hymns and everything. They all go sort of, all things bright and fucking beautiful, you country.
That's not right, is it?
Is that how it starts?
That's what it says. Fuck it. Off you go. Thought love was...
I thought love was only true in fairy tales. You want to change key
That's what it says.
For someone else, but not for me. I've got a mic down here, actually. Love was out to get me. That's the way it seems. Broken hearted, haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Everybody, now I'm a believer. Without a trace. Doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Oh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I cried. Remember the phrase, I can play this. I thought love was more or less a giving game. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. Les Dawson, ladies and gentlemen. What's the use of trying? All you get is pain. When I wanted sunshine, there was rain.
Then I saw her face. For God's sake, sing with me. Now I'm a believer without a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Oh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Solo. Is that an ice cream van outside?
All together
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer without a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Oh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. How does it end? That's it. Thanks a lot. You've been brilliant. Liz, ladies and gentlemen. Liz, she was great. You've been great. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.